I just say it.
Welcome to Danu and Fire right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. These days, this man is in the news. Before I discovered him, nobody actually had him on news. I did this one article, and the next thing I know, he's all over social media, like, whoa, like vomit. but anyway, I would like to take credit as I was the first to write about it.
Thank you so
And
much.
this is no Lady Gaga or anything, it's just Rajeev, our very own Rajeev.
It's just me.
Yeah, but Rajeev has done some amazing things. Going all the way to Hollywood, you know, the place where I went and took a picture in front of, he actually went and did work there.
Legally.
Legally. And yeah, you were not like
Yeah,
that.
legally.
Yeah.
I legally.
You didn't go on a
It was one of the
boat or anything,
questions
so yeah.
people asked me.
So legally you went there, and he didn't even like marry someone for the passport or anything. He actually went and worked. You had permit.
Correct.
And you're working with some movie, right?
Yes.
It's like some action film.
It's a Marvel Studios film.
It's a Marvel Studios film. I just want to act as if I don't know. Now that you have worked with the director, you were the assistant to the director.
Correct.
Not the assistant director.
I was not the assistant director.
We have to very well
Yes,
clearly say
please.
because the assistant director might come at me after that. huh?
Yes.
So what were you doing for the director? That I am really curious to know.
So many things. I scheduled his meetings. I organized his day-to-day transport, etc. I drove him for quite a bit of it as
My
well.
God.
It was so scary being responsible for this man's life in the car.
That is true.
So thank God. And then like on
You
set,
kept him alive
I kept him
during
alive.
that time. That's amazing.
You're welcome, audience.
And does he like you still?
He loves me.
Oh, that's
He loves
amazing.
me.
That's actually very rarely anyone who actually doesn't like Rajeev. You're a lovable little.
I will say there were
lovable
like
thing.
every day I thought I was getting fired. I think I don't know if it's like a natural thing, but like I was constantly like, oh, he's calling me to tell me like go home. So thank God he likes me.
Yeah. Marvel, if you need another superhero, like somebody who can like, save the US.
South Asia. Save
No,
the
save the
US.
US. Because everything happens in the US. Have you tried seeing any Marvel characters in Sri Lanka running around Gold Road?
That's true. Good
It's
point.
tragic. I'm telling you, if Spider-Man was here, he'd be very disappointed.
He'll have to like go up the ladder.
Yeah,
et
because
cetera, et
in
cetera.
Piliyandala, he's not going anywhere. He'll just come out and he'll be like,
He'll have a field day in PETA because
yeah, there he can hang everywhere he wants to. So he can only save certain areas.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a bit
Restricted.
of a problem. Restricted to just city limits. So that's amazing. So when is this movie coming out?
It's coming on the 14th of February.
It's actually a
worldwide.
legit film, no?
It is.
Yeah.
It is a legit film.
And
I'm allowed to say it now since you have helped make it so public.
yeah, I know. How many people called you for interviews after that?
Actually, they didn't. They just published. I think they just read your article and was like, oh, this,
It's legal.
It's very flattering, but yeah, I guess it's legal. So.
I would like you to tell that in Hollywood.
So Danu was the only one who actually called and like tried to organize.
I was very proud of you. I knew that he was working on things because he doesn't have any local friends. Like we were trying to do a date with Danu with him. He doesn't even have one friend. Everyone is overseas. We need a passport to shoot
Exactly.
this show.
Exactly.
I know.
With Danu on date with Danu International.
I know. Now that I'm getting there.
Exactly.
Marvel hero, like
Date with Danu US edition.
yeah. Okay, so let's speak about the other things. Tell me about the film. How was the experience? Like, were you on set every day?
I was on set every day. So I started in pre-production in dates on October 3rd, 2022. And then we were in LA, and then we flew to Atlanta, and we shot all of it in Atlanta. So there was 5 months of shooting
So you stayed.
all through.
Why do you keep holding your crotch?
Like, what's going on? This is not my crotch. The pants come down to here, and
Right.
Georgia made these for me. Also, this shirt was the first shirt, the shirt I wore on my first day of work.
And they still
I
hired
thought
you.
I'd wear it for you, Danu.
And they still hired you.
They still kept me.
That's true. Maybe that's why they kept you.
No,
They felt
probably. They're
sad.
like, wow, the token diversity hire.
Diversity of terrible fashion.
How dare you?
No, they had costumes. No, we're going to come back and speak about the movie, which is to be out on the 14th of February, and so much more when we do come back after the break. Do stick around with this is Rajeev, who is supposed to be noted because he's going to do some amazing work with you. Thank you to our friends at XXL for joining us on Danu on Fire as official partners. You can now shop for something festive, well, or even after the festive season is done because it could be a bit heavy on you. Well, you can now get all your sizes sorted at XXL, truly Sri Lankan. At the same time, you can check out such a range that they have for you at their flagship store, if not at One Go Office, Colombo. Thank you so very much for joining us on Danu on Fire.
I just say it.
Welcome back to the show. It's Danu on Fire. We're speaking to Rajeev and we're checking out ISSO today. Now, Rajeev,
Yes.
your time in Hollywood, you have worked with this film. Tell me about what happens in the film. Does Captain America live?
So glad I brought my prop.
So you can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it.
So he's alive or dead? No, you don't know anything. What can you, if you were to be a part of a Marvel series, what can you play?
Acting wise, I want to be a villain. I feel like villains have a better sort of experience in terms of what they get to do. And then if it's like, you get to feel sorry for them sometimes. you
Right.
know, get
But
to
do
just
they
destroy
cast,
things.
are they diverse enough now to cast a brown?
Absolutely. So there is a Sri Lankan Marvel character who is a villain, Sen Yaka or something like that.
Played by whom?
No, he's not even there. But in the the comic
Versions of it.
or
right.
whatever it is, he exists. So on one day we were shooting, and one of the producers, we were talking about it, and I pitched us, it's like, you don't want to have a Sri Lankan be in, whatever. And they're like, oh, we have this character. And then the
And-
following week,
and
they
what
brought me
you
the
to play?
toy. They brought me the action figure.
Oh.
Isn't that cute? But no, it's like he's in his like 60s and he's like lives in the mountain. And
I like
I
that.
think Kali, they must have Googled like Sri Lanka and been like, oh, this is what
All
they
these
have.
ones look like
He's
old
a
men.
villain.
All
yeah.
yeah, you have the hair going for it. no?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Thank
about
you.
it. You don't look like a day in the jungle.
To really work out.
But that's okay. That could be a superpower.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank
My
you. eh?
charm.
Yeah. So let's speak about opportunities now. Priyanka, like my friend Pri, she's doing some great work in the
She
US.
is.
Yeah. So there's more space for brown people, but they put all of us into the category of we're just Indians.
I mean, a lot of people don't even know that Sri Lanka exists. So it
It's
was
not
fun
our
to-
fault. It's not our
absolutely,
fault,
thank you. It was very fun to educate them in
Yeah.
that aspect.
Man, I did that for 2 long months.
Can you imagine? There are some people who are very courteous and like, oh, where are you from?
Oh, yeah.
Nikang like, oh, welcome from, I love India. And I'm like, that's great, cool, good for you,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So there were
Nothing against India
no,
because
nothing
India
at
is a
all.
bigger country.
But we are just our own people
Correct,
and
of
have our
course.
own identity. So it's nice to kind of get to represent that in
Somebody
places
actually who runs a media organization asked me, so you all had a war with India for 30 years to win your country over. And I said, you publish news?
Wikipedia.
That was really shocking.
Wow.
Yeah. That was really
Seriously?
shocking. Yeah, for real. In Arizona.
Somebody asked in college. Somebody said, "No, like, can you take a bus to go from like did you take a bus to like you know what I mean?" I was just like, No,
Bus from the US to Sri Lanka?
And I like, how did you come? And it was like, and I was like,
Just say Airbus.
So, yeah, in the sky with wings, sure. Yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know, it's just interesting to see what like the world thinks of us or doesn't know about us.
Yeah,
etc.
that's not the world, just a few people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
That is true.
like just people around the world.
So were you able to pitch Sri Lanka to the cast there?
I was.
Or the film directors to come and shoot here?
I was a lot of
Like
people.
just imagine,
know,
like, Captain America on top of Nelum Kulana, like same.
like that Batman shot where it comes and he's like,
Yeah.
where the lights are
Yeah. It look really nice, like on a Vesak day and all. Like.
Yeah,
they look beautiful.
they actually are. I mean, primarily because we have some great tax incentives, which is why everyone loves to come and shoot here.
Yeah.
But no, I think, again, so Harrison Ford is in this movie, and he shot Indiana Jones here. So he was talking about it a lot, and like, oh, the food is great, and the people are great, and I really love my time there, etc., etc. So like, there's obviously more openness, and I think again, it's relationship, right? Like, if I know somebody.
Yeah, it's more.
Et cetera,
it's not about the location.
Yeah.
It's about they need to feel that this is a place where they can. Yeah.
So Marvel and everyone, hopefully there'll be some projects that come up.
That's amazing. So Rajeev, you are the assistant to the director.
Correct.
Does the assistant to the director need an assistant?
Are you asking for a friend?
I'm asking for myself.
Yes.
Seems like you have enough and more space in that room.
Absolutely.
You're not making use of it.
Exactly. You could come and you could assist me, assisting. I don't know. Wait. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I don't need a salary.
You just need to come.
No, I'll share your salary, but I'm just saying.
So like be like me hiring you. Is
Yes.
it? Ah.
You earn in dollars, darling.
Exactly.
That's like you're
That's
high
the
end.
point of privilege.
High end. Anything else? Were you able to bring a part of the costume? Not this trash. I'm just saying what you were wearing. Just like one of their outfits.
No, I was not.
They didn't even want to offer after looking at this?
Why? This is like, wow, this is Sri Lankan fashion. I was like, yes, it is. See, this is why I need you as my assistant. I don't think I didn't bring any costume. Now I'm really like double thinking like my entire wardrobe for the time I spent on this show. No, a lot of people, my friends watching will tell you that I have really bad fashion.
I don't need them.
I'm not even going to deny it. I mean, I think I have great fashion, but my friends tell me otherwise.
Fashion is subjective.
Thank you. That's true. Fashion is subjective.
It's subjected to change at times.
I'm going to be spending much more time with you, I think, now. Don't get this, don't wear this, don't put this.
Just don't leave the house. just
remote work.
We'll get
I'll
into a
just send
break.
my assistant in my place
Yeah.
with his fashion.
I'll see you on the other side with more. Do stick around. This is Danu. Thank you to our friends at XXL for joining us on Danu on Fire as official partners. You can now shop for something festive, well, or even after the festive season is done, because it could be a bit heavy on you. Well, you can now get all your sizes sorted at XXL, truly Sri Lankan, and at the same time, you can check out such a range that they have for you at their flagship store, if not at One Golf Face, Colombo. Thank you so very much for joining us on Danu on Fire.
I just say it.
Welcome back to the show, in conversation with Rajeev and the fact that he has worked on this film that's coming out next year. You know, the Marvel series, Captain America.
Brave New World.
Yeah, Great New World.
Brave New World.
Brave New World. I couldn't hear it because you didn't want to say anything, no? Now, let's speak about your projects. Now, you have a film company.
I do, Malla Productions.
Yeah, which I was not invited for the launch, by the way. He invited everyone else except me. Don't deny that.
I think I will never live this one down
but
for
don't
sure. Your invitation went out, Danu.
From your house to the bin.
No, but anyways, Mala Productions, it's been something I want to do for a long time.
Clearly.
And I felt like with having studied and then done Marvel, I felt ready when I came back. So.
And have you started on a project? Or maybe you'll not tell me.
All will be revealed next year, so stay tuned to our social medias, including something that potentially.
Is it going to be a feature film?
It's going to be my first feature film, so I'm excited.
Is it going to be Sinhalese or English?
It'll be. I like to work with like a bilingual, trilingual thing. I
Yeah.
think it's very hard to do something. I mean, not all projects have to have it, but the way I like to work is I like to include. Because we talk, we talk other languages in our day to day, so it's not like you can't escape that. So
No, it's nice because I think the more authentic it is to the country where it's coming from.
Exactly.
It's more going to be appreciated internationally as well. They get a chance to see.
Exactly.
What the
and I think
country is about.
Having learned what works, what people are interested in, what they see. Also, I think just for my personal brand and signature, I want to work with as many of the different stories.
Yeah.
So a lot of traveling next year, which I'm excited about, to go and see the rest of our country, which I think everyone should do.
Means in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, in Sri Lanka, get more stories, talk to more people. Fun fact, your first curtain call was me and Kavindu's short film, Pavements, that we did.
It
That
was not
in
the first
2018.
one, but yeah.
We were your first curtain call?
No.
What do
We
you
had
mean?
better taste.
How dare you?
Those were
On your playlist, it's your first one.
It's your series of short films that you did, right?
Yes, it was the 3 stories.
And you know, short films are really underrated in our country, but it's one of the biggest. It's actually harder to do a short film than a feature film because you have to condense that story
Correct.
and leave that person thinking in just 5 minutes.
Correct. But unfortunately, how the industry works is you do a short and it's like, okay, that's really great, but now we'd like to see more. So like you're not really taken seriously until you do a feature. Or until you do something that's.
Are you going to have people singing around a tree and all those stuff?
No, Danu, I won't be having people singing around the tree.
It's not going
Not
to
my style, at least.
That is
so,
true.
yeah.
That is true. Now I have to ask you, what's next? Like now that you've gone, because you know there are a lot of people who like to make this their career.
Yeah.
Because I think we have such amazing talent,
Absolutely.
and even if you do take our tele industry or our film industry, sometimes the projects are not globally recognizable, or sometimes we think, ooh, cringe. But the source of talent that is there is remarkable. And I feel like they could have done a better job if they've had a bigger budget or resources to back them up, like or even their own hotel room to stay in.
Noted.
Here we have to share like 5 people in one bed.
In a bus.
Yeah. Here lead actors and it's like one bed for all of them.
And then all the background extras also right outside. They're like, selfie ka ganna puluwan da Danu.
No, they are in a different room. All ensemble cast is put into one room.
Funny.
So it's like terrible. So it means they are struggling with tight budgets, but still trying to put out a good production. Tell me from a professional point of view, do you think you need a big budget to create a great film?
Honestly, no. I don't think so at all. I
can
think
just suffocate them in a
yeah,
room.
basically just be like, please help me. It's funny how so many of these filmmakers started with like favors, you know, like, hey, trust in what I'm doing.
Please, I'm giving you my check.
So he did my first article, see, you know, like that investment is there. But that's kind of how that's kind of how it starts though. It's like it's you pull together something and you show people what you can do, and then from that point it's just like, okay, let's invest or etc. etc. But I think the other thing that we should consider and at least plan for long term is consistency. So if I do a movie next year, I need to have the next 3 years thought through. Because if I take a long break, I'll be like, remember 2025, I did that movie, and be like, uncle, can you please, you know, it's been 4 years.
Correct.
So I think, you know, the more...
And that's the only way you'll also grow. Like
Exactly.
by 30, 35, we'll see a good film out of it.
Because people don't want to invest in a one-off, right?
Correct.
If you are, this is my big movie, and then I don't do anything consistently, it's just like, it's a hobby.
Would you ever see doing a fictional action film here in Sri Lanka?
Stay tuned
Like
to
a Marvel?
Mala Productions social media for more.
He has 1 follower. That's it.
That's Danu.
I'm not
My
following
number
that.
1 fan.
I was completely kicked out of that invitation list.
It went out. I promise you it went out. I just don't know. My
I could have
assistant
easily
must
said, you know,
have...
Rajeev, you know, we really planned this show And you could just come here and look up the CV and wait. Like, we were there. Like, you didn't see us. It's one of those fake promises. So you've met some amazing people in Hollywood, like people who I worked with, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
like your good friend Priyanka Chopra.
Pre.
Yeah,
Don't say Priyanka.
Sorry. I don't know, so I have to
She's
say
on
Priyanka
Ozempic,
Chopra.
right? She has lost weight.
I have no idea. You'll have to call Nick and ask him.
Yeah, can't you buy some Ozempic and do that as business when you can eat?
Yeah, I've studied all this, gone and worked at Mount, and I come back and I started Ozempic Kade outside.
No, it's a good business because that's how Hollywood
Has it made
lost
its
weight.
way to Sri Lanka?
Yeah, it has, but only the rich can afford it, man.
That's
like
the same there, though.
200,000 for like a week.
I think it's the same there as well.
Yeah, 200,000 is okay.
That's also true.
Here, 200,000 is somebody's 3-month salary.
Also, we have a natural Ozempic, which is just get up and, work like a dog day and night, and then
Yeah,
there you
correct.
go.
Anyway, so
Ozempic.
tell me, who are the famous people you have met apart from me in Hollywood?
From you. So our film has Anthony Mackie, who is Captain America. I'm very excited for this film. Harrison Ford is in this film, so got to meet and hang out with him and cooked lunch for him.
For him?
Cooked dinner for him.
Why?
Yeah. Story time. So at our table read, Danu is rolling his eyes.
Tell me.
At our table read, it was just a select group of people who were there.
What were you doing at
obviously, 'cause
table
I was
read?
the director's assistant.
The table.
I knew. I was like, I walked right into that one. And so at the end of it, everyone like talks to each other and chill and whatever. And he walks over and I was like, oh, here we go. And we were talking, he's like, oh, your accent's not Indian. I was like, thank God, one person.
But did you feel like?
I felt seen. I was like,
Was that like a breath like that? Yes, I'm not Indian.
I was like, thank God. And I was like, oh, you know this because you filmed and shot and worked in my country, Sri Lanka. And so we were talking at the end of it. He goes, I asked him, what is your favorite part of Sri Lanka? And he said, the food. So we're talking a bit, and then he goes, by the way, do you cook? And I was like, if I don't, I do now. So I was like, yes, I do. He's like, okay, I want you to make Sri Lankan food for me at the end of the shoot. So I got my grandmother, my mom's mom, on FaceTime, and she walked me through the whole thing. Because, I can cook. I'd like to give myself a little credit.
Yeah.
But just to make sure I wasn't
He's
like
alive.
poisoning this
Yeah,
man.
correct.
Because imagine that I was like at the end, like your last couple of days,
Yeah.
let's do this. And yeah, I got to make
Oh, that's
Not the best,
amazing.
yeah.
And who are the
Sounds
others
good.
who you have met, like just being in Hollywood?
Viola Davis. She was a speaker at a producing conference
she's
I was attending.
fabulous.
She's amazing.
Oh, you feel like just eating this now. It's phenomenal.
She's so nice. Michelle Yeoh, who
Yeah.
last year won the Oscar. for
Not a
Best
big fan,
Actress.
but yeah.
She's also amazing.
If you're watching it, I like you, but
Exactly. Now you have to get ready for all
Yeah.
that. I was a teaching assistant to two-time Oscar-winning Iranian director Asghar Farhadi. He did the movie The Salesman, and I got to be his assistant while he was spending a semester at college. So that was really cool. There were other films shooting while we were shooting. So Megalopolis, Francis Ford Coppola's movie was shooting. So Adam
Which is
Driver
there.
was there, Dustin Hoffman, they were all there. So it was just, but it was nice because it's exciting to hear about this and all talk about it. But like when you're in that zone, it's work.
Yeah, true.
And that's what I felt. I was just like, oh, thank God I'm not like fangirl. I was inside,
Clearly.
and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I'm now in this. I'm a professional. This
I
is
know,
work. These
I
are my
know.
co-workers, and that felt really validating. So
amazing. Anyway, movies out in Feb. I'll be seeing with him in Feb in Hollywood.
he's gonna give me fashion advice.
Yes. Talk about people who represent our country.
How dare you?
You know, Jojo might have done this hair and pant for you to wear at home.
No, it's to like be all a South Asian.
All right, on that note, we need to wrap things up. Thank you so very much for
Thank
coming,
you.
Rajeev. And I'm so very proud. This is heartfelt. Not only the fact that you took your talent and you have made a global impact, and at the same time you've come back to your soil. You really want to do things here. And more than all of that, you're just a good human being.
Thank you.
And I think sky is the limit for you. I think that will take you far.
Thank
and
you.
People who work with him will always say, we just love that boy. So
Thank you. Can I say something as well before?
yeah,
you
they
go?
might cut
Is
it off,
okay?
but tell.
Don't cut this off. Danu was one of the first people who kind of like spoke to me, and like when I came back from undergrad, before Marvel, before Chapman, before I was anyone, and really took an interest in getting to know who I was as a creative. And we've had many chats on the phone about life and all this stuff, and it was just
still didn't invite
very encouraging to know that there's someone like you in our journalism scene and our entertainment scene here, because I think you do the work and you come from all that you come from. So this really meant, like this being the first thing really meant a lot to me. So thank you very much.
Now that the show has overrun by 15 minutes, we will see you soon. Thank you so very much to our friends at ISO, and we will see you. Till then, keep smiling. Happy season, everyone.